Hi, Jessica. How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright.
Alright.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about or work on today?
Well, as you know, like when we talked last, I have an infant, and, tomorrow's her first birthday, so I know I'm making the right decision, but it just kind of feels bad that I'm missing it.
A little bit of mixed emotions with that. First birthday is a big one, but you gotta do what you gotta do in the meantime so that you can be there for the rest of them.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to think is like, alright, well, I gotta be clean so I can be there for all the rest, like you just said, but it's hard. I did get to FaceTime her today though, so that's something.
How was that experience for you?
It was good. She's getting big and having a little personality, and I got to talk to my boyfriend, so that was okay.
Just okay.
Well, I think he's like still kind of mad at me for this last stint, so.
Did anything happen between you while you were using, or is it just that you relapsed?
Just had a relapse, and I make dumb decisions when I use, and he knew I was using, and finally he's just like, I know what you're doing, you leave the house for hours at a time, and, I'm spending the money that I'm making that I should be spending on our child, so.
And how does he feel about where you're at now?
He's really supportive. I know that he knows it can work. I had 3.5 years before, so he knows we've been together for a long time. He knows I can do it.
So what do you think triggered your relapse or made you want to start using again? Or
Well, it was I kind of like was at the shop and opened a book, and there was a line of cocaine right in front of me. So it's the first time it'd been in front of me. I saw it and was like, okay, I can do one. I'll be fine. I'll just do one. It was like that for a little bit too. Like I was just doing one here and there. Then I started buying it, and then it turned in like it was before.
like nothing had changed? What happened in the 3.5 years that you were clean? What was going on then?
I was just staying busy. I worked a lot. Spending time with my boyfriends. I was just going to school, doing those types of things.
So you opened the book at work, you said?
Yeah.
So the entire time in the 3.5 years you were at work, it never had presented itself, or you were able to look it away, or it just wasn't in front of you?
It just wasn't in front of me. And I stopped hanging out with my friends who did use, so like I was never around it.
So it's when it's in front of you that it's hard for you to just say no.
Yeah. And I thought like, okay, I can do it occasionally. I just thought I could do one.
In that moment you felt that. How do you think looking back on it now? How would it?
Now I obviously know that I can't. I don't ever want to get in that place again. And it's not worth the 30-minute high. So.
And 30 minutes turns into more. Is there anybody that you've been in contact with in the 3.5 years? Have you been gaining any support from anyone, or?
Just my family. I I didn't have like a sponsor or go to meetings or anything.
Is that something that you're open to?
I just don't like the whole like spiritual aspects of it. Not like a religious person at all. So going to the meetings and hearing people preach, and every time I hear the word God, I'm just like, okay, well, this whole story again, I just can't relate to any of the people. So
Have you been going to groups or anything lately, or getting any kind of other treatment, or are you just meeting with me?
I mean, I go to groups sometimes. But
So support groups, but as long as they're not like religious, then you kind of gain a little bit more insight from that.
yeah, and I have like sober friends that I talk to and I reach out to, but not really about like, I don't know, they don't really know how it is to like use so much that like you lose your everything. You lose your family, your significant other, your job, your money. So yeah, they don't really get that part of it.
Do you feel like you gain things from some social support that you do get? Or, because cravings are sometimes often something that will pass, you know, if you can get past it. So to distract yourself. And in AA, a lot of the times they say call your sponsor, because in that time that it takes to call your sponsor and talk to them, you know, it can help you get through that. But if that's not something that you're willing to do, there's also Smart Recovery. It's more of a like easily accessible online. You don't have to go to like meetings all the time, and it's not really faith based. So it might be able to give you some good support in those times when you know you're faced with wanting to use, or you know, those kinds of things. It might just be another option for you. If you wanted to look into that, I can give you some more information if you're open for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like that just because, you know, I'm a mom too, so I'm busy and then I work and you know, like I said, I'm not religious, so it's just like hard to, you know, they say like the, uh, the 90 meetings in 90 days, and it's like, how the hell is anybody supposed to do that, really? And I don't want to go to like basically church every night, so that would sound like something that
Yeah, a little more accessible for you, and
yeah,
still getting the support that you might need at the time.
yeah. I mean that sounds good.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you like to do that you think in those times of cravings, or in those times of, you know, facing the substance, or is there a way that we can minimize the being exposed to the substance? Because you said it's at work, so that's a pretty important place. So what do you think?
I mean, like the person who had it there, I was pretty open with them after I went through everything, and then told them like, okay, I did relapse after it got out of control. They, you know, he didn't know that I was in recovery, so it's not something that I was like sharing with people really. And like I said, I thought I could just do it occasionally, maybe like try it, and obviously it's not that way. So I was honest with him afterward, like I can't be around it. It's just hard being and like doing what I like to do, and you know I go motocross racing. There's a lot of that kind of partying in that scene, and so I kind of gotta.
So in the 3.5 years though, and with how much partying that is and whatnot, that wasn't ever really confronted to you, or was it? I know you said it was hard for you to tell him, but like, did anybody else know, or in that vicinity, was anybody aware, or how did it not come up in the 3.5 years?
Well, I had like two of my friends that go with me and race with me. Like they knew, but I mean, it was around. I know. It just wasn't facing me in the face. You know, it wasn't right in front of me. So I could kind of be like, okay, I know what those people are doing, so let me just go over here. So I didn't want to lose my job either at the shop, so like I try to stay away from it, and then come to find out like people they're using too. So yeah.
The two friends that knew, they both use also, or
No, they're both sober.
is that somebody that you would feel comfortable going to when you're feeling that craving or it's right there and just be like, hey, I just found this, like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have like there was definitely a time where after this last relapse I was high, and I called one of my one of those sober friends, and I was like, hey, I'm about to go pick up more, and she was like, no, come to my house right now. And so I did, and it prevented me from going and getting more. And thank God, because I don't know, I might have been dead.
Yeah.
So
That's a scary thing.
yeah, it's a scary thought. And the person I was buying from, like, right before I came here, I found out that somebody died from the bag they bought. So
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel lucky and horrible at the same time that my daughter could have possibly not grown up with me because I decided to buy drugs.
Is she one of your big motivating factors, you'd say, or what else is motivating you to be here right now?
I mean, definitely my daughter. She's like the light of my life, and she wasn't expected, but she's been the greatest thing that's happened to me. And it's hard to know that. Hey, and it's stressful. Like, don't get me wrong, it's stressful to have a child, but I definitely was very motivated over the 10 months before I relapsed just to be the best mom I could. And I think everybody saw that, like, me really trying and being there. But I don't know, and that's like a lot of like shame comes from. Like, I'm really ashamed that my daughter might hear this one day and have to know that like her mom chose drugs over her at some point. Even me doing them, that was choosing drugs over her. So
How did it feel just telling me that you feel like you chose drugs over your daughter? Because currently I see somebody who's choosing her daughter over drugs.
well, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. That helps me think about it differently.
You're here. You're missing her first birthday in order to be there for the rest of them.
Yeah.
You're doing what you need to be back on track and to, be there for her. So, I don't know, but I'd see somebody that's choosing their daughter over.
Yeah. I mean, and I just got to stay with that and keep that as my motivation, because it's easy for me to just like start feeling horrible about it. And it's weird because nobody else is. I mean, like, obviously my parents are upset. Obviously, like, my boyfriend's upset. But, and he did leave after he found out that I relapsed. And there's been a lot of things that went on between us, but he's always supported me. He's always loved me. He's always just wanted the best for me. So, I'm really lucky to have those types of people in my life. And I want to be the best that I can for them. I just don't know how to get there.
Well, you're taking the right steps, but it's not an overnight process.
Yeah.
Are your parents supportive of your recovery, or?
Yeah, definitely. They're both really supportive, and they've always given me everything. And that's why I feel so bad. It's like I completely betrayed them and their trust, and just feel like they gave me everything in life, and I went and messed a lot up. But like you said, I can't just focus on that. And I know they're not focusing on that. Like, our relationship hasn't even grown, like, since they know that I'm coming and doing this and trying to work toward my recovery. So the thought process has changed with them and our communication already. Just a small step. But I think the next thing I have to do is, you're saying, I have to find like the smart recovery sounds good, because I need to find something that works for me in the long term.
Yeah. What would you say that your long-term goal would be then?
I mean, definitely staying sober and finishing school and just being a good mom, being there every day, and, you know, raising her to be a good, decent person. You know, I think probably finishing school is the biggest thing. So I want to give her everything I can, and myself. I want to reach my full potential.
How do you feel like you're progressing towards those goals right now?
I mean, I think with my daughter, getting help for myself is the first thing. And then school, like, I started, just kind of got to look up like how to get back into doing that.
What are you going to school for?
I want to do nursing, but yeah.
That's a great career.
It is.
Have you started it already?
Yeah, I mean, I started my AA, so I'm doing that. I'm like 2 credits away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah.
You're almost there at the finish line.
Yeah. I just, after my daughter was born, I kind of took a break, but, you know, my boyfriend is there a lot to help, and, I don't know, like I said, maybe, like, even thinking about, like, the smart recovery, maybe if I, like, did some online classes, that would be something I could do. I know that they offer a lot of those, so maybe that's something that I can look into.
Yeah. Finish your credits and still be there for your daughter. Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be done.
Yeah. Then I gotta go toward the nursing, but one step at a time, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Change doesn't happen overnight. So.
Yeah.
So what would the next step be then in your goal?
Jeez. I don't know. Mending my relationships, I guess. Working on that. I feel like I have to stay sober for a little bit before I try to, like, fix that. Just kind of like, I want it to be fixed right away, but that's kind of selfish of me to say.
You gotta work on yourself before you work on how everything was going with everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Staying focused on you for at least a lot of the time you're here, you know.
Yeah.
What relationship is paining you right now?
Probably just the one with my boyfriend. Because, you know, my parents, I love them, and they've been through this with me before, and, you know, so is he, but we're kind of like younger, so I don't think he saw like the full magnitude of it. And now that he does, like, just explaining to him that for the rest of our lives, like, this is going to be something that I have to deal with. So I'm kind of scared, like, he won't want to do it forever with me. Like, support me being sober.
I mean, addiction often affects a lot of people in our lives, but there's support for those people in your life too. So, I mean, if they're open to gaining that support.
Which I think he would. I don't know, like, what to tell him or where to go or what he needs to do.
Is he religious at all, or is he?
Yeah, I mean, he was raised religious, and we don't, like, go to church or practice. I wasn't, so, like, I don't care for that stuff, but he's not, like, he doesn't object to it. So.
Well, if he's open to support, then I can give you some information. Because I feel that as human beings, we are social creatures, and we don't go through life alone. So why would we go through our issues alone? You're here, you're getting support. Why wouldn't they need the support also? So sometimes it's helpful in the long run for everyone.
Yeah, because I mean, I know he asked a lot of questions about this, like my treatment and stuff. He wants to know. I just, I don't know everything about addiction, so I want him to be able to learn about it and understand what's going on with me.
Okay. So is that something that you guys openly talk about at all, or is it kind of, you don't really want to talk about it?
I mean, no, we talk about it. I just, like I said, I don't think he thought it was this big of a deal until my last relapse.